up, YouTube? Knight's Edge here again. Got another quick little review for you here today of a pretty cool little knife, man. This one was sent to me by Fred the Lug, so big shout out to Fred for sending this one along. Thanks to people like him that I'm able to check out such really awesome knives, man. Otherwise would definitely not get to check out such cool knives that I can check out on a semi-regular basis anyway. So thank you again, Fred. He's starting up a YouTube channel if you guys want to check him out, but linked right there, should be right there in the corner if I remember to put the card up there in my editing, if you could call it that. But yeah, thanks to all my channel members, Patreon subscribers, really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Hit the like button if you like the content. Subscribe right down there, if you'd like some more of it. And without further ado, let's get into it. This is the Latama Victorian collab, Latama Cutlery Virtu. So I'm going to read, this is kind of a lesser known knife, and I think it's should be a little bit more well known. I think it's got ups and downs with it, just like any knife, but I think it should probably be a little bit more well known. I think it's pretty neat. I'm just going to read the description off of the Latama Cutlery website on this. Third release for Latama Victorian, the Virtu is an everyday carry design that reimagines a classic Barlow of modern industrial cues from the legendary M1911 pistol. So it goes on to kind of talk about all the little, like the signature cat slash slide serration style texturing for the grip, and a large lanyard loop does not interfere with the placement of the reversible milled titanium pocket clip. So kind of definitely got a longer description on the website. That'll be linked down below as well. But yeah, pretty neat. So let's go ahead and do overall specs. This one is, I don't know if Latama has an OEM or if they're actually, making these. But it is collaborative design between Latama and Victoriam again, sorry. Alright, so overall length from the tip of the blade into the handle, you're looking at 7 1/4 inches, what I would call kind of like a medium sized knife, not really full size, but not small. So the blade lengths, you're looking right at 3 1/4 if you go all the way back to where the inside of that choil meets up, kind of with the handle scales there. Cutting edge, right about 3 1/8 on that cutting edge. Alright, let's go ahead and get the calibers out here. The blade stock thickness check. Thickest part of the spine. Try to get it right. 120 thousandths there. Behind the edge. Let's see what she's got. Behind the edge, you're looking at around 29 thousandths behind the edge, and handle thickness a little over 1/2 inch, around 510 thousandths or so. Alright, let's get out some size comparisons, give you guys an idea of the size of this one compared to some more familiar knives. That is the beginning of the usual suspects anyway. The Ontario Knives Rat Model 1 and the Ontario Knives Rat Model 2, so kind of closer, pretty close actually to the Rat Model 2 in overall length, but some more cutting edge, a little bit more cutting edge than the Rat Model 2. Alright, we'll put those up. Let's go ahead and get out the Cold Steel Knives 8010, which kind of dwarfs it, right? A lot larger. And the Demco Knives 8020.5, that is the slicer variant, which is still a little bit longer, but again, with a little bit less cutting edge there. Alright, let's see here. A couple more on the usual suspects. That is the Spyderco Knives, Paramilitary 2, and your Spyderco Para 3. Alright. Put those up. Let's do some randoms here. Got your Ozark Trail Walmart knife. $10 Walmart knife right there. And of course, here's the budget version. Your $5 Walmart Ozark Trail folder. Alright. A couple more. Let's see. We'll go with the TRM Neutron and the TRM Bulldog, which are both similar in size. All right, and let's do 2 more. You got the Kizer Phoenix, Satisfaction design there, pretty awesome knife, and your North Arm Knives Sky High. All right. Last but not least, of course, in the size comparison category, you're always going to have this on here, right? Until I replace it with something even more crazy. But that is your DeWalt framing hammer, and your 8-inch USA made crescent wrench there. All right. Size comparison's done. Let's go ahead and get a weight on this bad boy. It doesn't, I mean, it's definitely not heavy at all, I don't think. I'm going to guess probably around 3 ounces. I had to guess. Let's see what she's at here. 3.2, 3.1. Between 3.1 and 3.2 ounces. So kind of right at the ounce and inch ratio, which is pretty good. Especially for having titanium handles on it. Got some milling going on in there. As you can see right there. So it does have a little bit of internal milling happening, which is pretty cool. Still pretty lightweight, I would say, for a titanium knife with a back spacer. And this is kind of like the ceramic ball clip on a, kind of tight there, by the way, on a milled titanium pocket clip with a little ceramic ball. I think it works pretty good, especially if you're wearing jeans, but not if you're wearing something like super thick. So kind of does tend to kind of be a little harder to put in pocket if you're wearing something thick, but not anything of concern. I don't think it's not like it's hard to get in your pocket. It's just a little more difficult the thicker the material is, I guess. And as I said before, that is a reversible pocket clip there, so you take that tab off, put the clip on, and put the tab back on here if you're carrying it lefty, which I think that's pretty cool. This is a plunge lock, by the way, which functions pretty well. Let's go ahead and get out the hardware checker devices. This screwdriver, that's what it is, with a Torx bit. Alright, so let's see, this is a T8, I think. Yeah, T8 on that pivot. And I'm thinking T6 on the rest of it. Kind of a bummer, but yeah, T6 on the pocket clip, tab, and T6 also on the body screws. Wish it was T8, you know, of course, at least on the body screws, on everything really, but you know, just be careful if you're taking this apart, and kind of be mindful of stripping bits out. That is very, very possible with T6s. Hell, with me, it's possible with T20s, right? Alright, so my thoughts overall, the design of the beauty of this knife, I think, is in the design, right? Let's go ahead and we'll do aesthetics first. The way it looks really good. Again, modeled after the 1911 pistol. I think that's really neat. I like how that it kind of increases in size on those fuller holes right there. Really reminiscent of when you look at it. You know, when I look at it, after especially I read the description, kind of like a cross between an old barber's straight razor and a 1911 pistol with a modern take on it. So I think that's really neat. I really like this blade shape. Kind of a razor sheep's foot, I guess, Warncliffe sheep's foot blade shape. I don't know exactly what to call it, but that's pretty cool too. The action works really good, or is really good, even though it's a plunge lock, right? So there's not really a detent on it, but it does kind of come right down, and the detent works really well. I mean, it doesn't just pop out or anything like that. Perfectly centered. Blade play, zero blade play at all. Matter of fact, that thing's locked up solid, which is pretty awesome. Kind of surprising how well it's locked up, especially for what you're getting there with the looseness of the action, I guess. Runs on bearings. You can reverse flick it if you kind of reach down right there. You can reverse flick it. Kind of got to get used to it a little bit. but it is definitely possible to do the reverse flick on it. That flipper tab is jimped. That works out pretty well. All right, and pivot again is, I'm pretty sure they got a D-shaped pivot barrel in there. They might not though, but it's not it's not obviously a captive pivot from the outside, right? I like this little swedge up that they've got going on there. That little lanyard hole that's not really in the way or anything like that. That's pretty cool. Lines going down, contouring on the titanium. It's really, really smooth. It feels really, really nice, I think, is my professional way to describe that anyway. Choke back is pretty much where you're locked in right here, or I guess, you know, it is the only position you can't really, you can choke up on it a little bit. You'll kind of put that flipper in the crease of your finger there, which you can definitely feel that. But that flipper is definitely necessary though to open it, because I know some people can't really do the reverse flick, and that's understandable. I can't get it every time on this. You got to kind of sink down towards the middle and push out like that if you're doing the reverse flick on this, because those fuller lines, fuller holes whenever it's closed are fairly well hidden. Let's see what else. M390 heat treated to 60 to 61 HRC according to their website. You got Latama Victoriam right there on that back spacer. Not really much billboarding other than that on the knife itself. Looking at it up close, kind of a nice, what was that, stonewash? No, not really stonewash, kind of like a tumbled finish on that. Really nice looking, kind of a really good gentleman's knife, I think. The jimping up here is a nice touch, right? So if you're choked back like that, you got jimping for your thumb there, pretty comfortable, and you can grab it like that. And if you're doing like some draw cuts or something like that, your index falls on that jimping right there as well. And I like how they kind of came all the way around, almost to the tip with that kind of groove that they've got coming around the whole knife itself. So really cool. Very unique knife, I think. Very, very appreciative to Fred for letting me borrow this one. I think it's an awesome knife. You can get it. It is available right now on Latama.net. I'll have it linked down below. Again, the Virtu VIR TU, they go for $250. Not too bad. I mean, I wish it was a little bit cheaper, of course, like everything, but not really too bad as far as the price goes on this one. Wish it was a little bit bigger. If they made like a slightly larger version, I think that would be pretty cool. But that one does work quite well, and it's not like a super small knife or anything by any means, but I would personally prefer a little bit larger. Alright, so I think that's it, guys. I appreciate everybody watching the video. Again, hit the like button if you like the content. Subscribe if you want more of it. And thanks again to Fred the Lug for providing this awesome knife. And until next time, y'all stay sharp.